often think about getting our bodies summer ready, but this year it's a good time to think of ways to get our wallets in shape. With summer around the corner, a vacation may be on your mind. Schoolsfirst Federal Credit Union is here to help us surf through expenses and learn about the best ways to buy a car when you're in search for the market. Let's welcome Stephanie. We have her joining us, Stephanie Swanson, Assistant Manager of Indirect Dealer Relations. Welcome to the show, Stephanie.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Yes, happy to have you on. Okay, so buying a car, it's already stressful when you think about it. Whenever I have to buy a car, I have like my serious face on. I feel like I got to be ready to negotiate prices. And then on top of that, there's many types of cars for people to choose from and so many features to think about. So where do we start?
Well, the one thing about purchasing a car, it's not a one-size-fits-all situation. You need to think about what are your priorities, what are your wants, and what is going to fit your lifestyle. So first and foremost, think about what type of vehicle do you want? Are you looking at electric, hybrid, or do you want a gas vehicle? Also, what type of driving are you doing every day? How many passengers are going to be in that vehicle? Also, if you have a long commute to work, fuel efficiency is going to be the top of your priority list. Also, let's say you're a mom, you're picking up kids, dropping off kids, loading up sporting equipment. You're probably going to be looking for a vehicle with larger capacity. The other thing to think about is what are your must-haves? Think about the backup camera, the blind spot detector, even something as simple as, do I want leather interior versus cloth interior? Those are all things that you need to take into account.
Okay, all important, especially you got to personalize it just for you. So there's a lot of considerations to think about when determining your ideal vehicle. But once you have those details determined, how do you narrow it down?
Well, knowing your preferences are the first step. Now comes reality. How much do you want to spend on a car and what's going to fit within your budget? Because besides just the initial price of the vehicle, you're going to have ongoing costs. You'll have insurance costs. You may have maintenance costs or fuel costs. A good rule of thumb is to remember that you never want your monthly car payment to exceed 15% of your net take-home pay. And for those other expenses that you're paying, like your fuel costs or your insurance costs, it's good to allocate approximately 7% of your take-home pay to cover those expenses.
All right, so just making sure that there are no surprises when you're in the process of car buying. While some people are able to pay cash for their vehicle purchase, I'm sure the majority of buyers opt to finance or lease their vehicle. Can you give us a quick overview of the two options?
Absolutely. Let's talk about leasing. When you lease a vehicle, there's less initial investment up front. Your payment is going to be lower and your term is going to be shorter. Now, leasing a vehicle can be very attractive. If you're a consumer that wants a new car, the latest bells and whistles, all of the great software, then that might be for you. One thing you need to remember though, there are mileage restrictions. So typically you'll have a mileage cap from anywhere from 10 to 15,000 miles per year. If you exceed that, it can become costly. The other thing to remember is you're not building equity in that vehicle. You're never going to pay it off. So when you lease, you just have to remember you will perpetually have a payment every month.
Yeah.
Now let's talk about buying. Upfront costs, yes, they're going to be higher and your monthly payment is going to be higher, but you've purchased an asset. You can build equity in that. You also have much more freedom. You can sell that car whenever you want. You can trade it into a dealership. You can sell it through a private party. And over the life of the loan, once you pay it off, your car expenses may go down. You're not going to have a monthly car payment anymore. And also, one more thing, if you drive a lot, no stress. Nobody's monitoring your mileage when you buy a car.
I do commute a little bit, so it's kind of nice knowing that there's not restrictions that come to that. So once you have your needs, your budget, and your financing sorted out, what's the last step?
Okay, this is the most important step. Start to do your research. Find your top models that you're interested in. Go online to a trusted source. Find out about the reliability. Look at the performance. Look at customer reviews. And one important topic is safety. Make sure you check out the safety features. When you buy a vehicle, you want to feel safe as well as your loved ones. Also, reach out to your local car dealership. Look at their website. You can look at the different models, do comparison pricing, look at different features. And don't hesitate. Call the dealership and ask, are there any ongoing discounts or promotions going on? The other thing, and I think is most important, test drive a vehicle before you purchase it. There is no substitute. If you sit in that car and you drive it on the road, does it feel okay? Is the technology where you want it? Is it easy to drive? Is it easy to maneuver? If you do your homework and you do your research, you're going to find the vehicle that you want. And hopefully I help you find the vehicle you love.
There we go. Stephanie's making sure we drive off in the right vehicle for us. Thank you so much, Stephanie.
You're so welcome.
Of course. Okay, so for our viewers, you can visit one of the many Schoolsfirst Federal Credit Union branch locations as seen on the screen. And you can find out more online by going to schoolsfirstfcu.org.